There's a phrase people like to use. I'm just being brutally honest. It sounds noble, doesn't it? Like a badge of courage for telling the truth when no one else will? But here's the uncomfortable reality. Most people who say they're brutally honest aren't serving truth. They're serving ego. They mistake unfiltered emotion for authentic expression. Honesty isn't about throwing words like knives and hoping someone else learns from the pain. Honesty, real honesty, is about clarity with compassion. I want you to think about the last time someone told you the truth in a way that left you feeling small, not stronger. Maybe it was a coworker, a parent, even a friend who said, "I'm just being real." But instead of helping you grow, it left a bruise. That wasn't truth. That was projection. Because sometimes people don't speak truth to free others. They speak it to free themselves. From things like discomfort, from guilt, or from pressure of being kind. You see, brutal honesty is honesty without emotional intelligence. It's like speaking truth with the right words, but the wrong heart. The message gets lost before it even lands. But here's the twist. People who call themselves brutally honest are often afraid of vulnerability. They use bluntness as armor. It gives them a sense of control, a way to feel powerful while pretending to be transparent. When in truth, they're hiding behind their own pain. Let's be real for a second. Being honest takes courage, but being kind while you're honest takes wisdom. Anyone can speak their mind. Not everyone can speak with balance. And that's what we're exploring today. This episode isn't about silencing your truth. It's about refining it. It's about learning how to speak the truth so it builds, not breaks. Because if your truth leaves someone bleeding, it wasn't truth. It was ego with a mask on. So in this episode, we're going to talk about why people confuse bluntness with honesty, how brutal honesty often hides insecurity, and most importantly, how to develop a kind of truth that heals instead of hurts. But before we go deeper, I want to share a small story, something I witnessed years ago and changed how I think about honesty completely. A few years ago, I was sitting at a coffee shop. You know, one of those quiet places where you can actually hear yourself think. Across from me, there was a young couple talking, or at least trying to talk. The girl looked nervous. She kept fiddling with her hands, staring down at her cup, and the guy, he was just leaning back on his chair, confident, almost proud of himself. I could hear every word, but one sentence carried across the room clear as day. He said, "I'm just being honest. You're too emotional. That's why people can't deal with you." And in that moment, I saw her whole expression shift. She didn't argue. She didn't cry. She just shut down. You could almost see the wall go up, right there, in real time. That wasn't honesty. That was dominance disguised as truth. And the sad thing is, I've seen that same conversation play out so many times since then. Different people, different places, but the same spirit behind the words. You see, the man wasn't trying to connect through honesty. He was trying to control through superiority. He wanted to feel like the logical one, the rational one. But what he really did was teach her to hide her heart. That's what brutal honesty does. It closes people. It teaches them that vulnerability isn't safe, that truth is something to fear, not share. And eventually, They stop opening up altogether. Now, here's the deeper psychology behind it. People who pride themselves on being blunt are often carrying unhealed frustration. They've been through moments where they felt unheard, invalidated, or overlooked. So they learn to speak like no one else matters. It's not that they want to hurt others, it's that they're afraid of being weak again. So they armor their words. They confuse volume with value. They think that being raw automatically makes them real. But realness without restraint is just reaction. Think about that. Most brutal honesty isn't truth. It's an emotional reaction dressed up as principle. And if you've ever been on the receiving end of that, you know what it feels like. That sinking feeling that someone isn't speaking to help you understand, but they're speaking to win. But the truth doesn't compete, it clarifies. Now imagine if that same man at the coffee shop had said, "I know you feel deeply, and that's not a weakness, but sometimes it makes it hard for me to understand what you're trying to say." The message would have been the same, but the heart behind it would have been different. She wouldn't have felt attacked. She would have felt seen. And that's the key. The way you deliver truth determines whether it becomes healing or harm. You know, I've thought about this a lot. Why so many people wear brutal honesty like a badge of honor? And I think I finally understood it. It's not that they love truth, it's that they love control. When someone says, "I'm just being honest," what they often mean is, "I don't want to be questioned about how I treat people." It's a way to justify their delivery, to protect their ego while pretending to protect integrity. Because if you wrap your harshness in truth, you could always say, "Hey, I'm not mean, I'm just real." It's clever, isn't it? It's ego disguised as virtue. The truth is, being honest doesn't automatically make you right. It just means you said what you think. But honesty without self-awareness becomes arrogance, and arrogance loves to wear the mask of righteousness. That's why brutal honesty feels powerful. It lets people avoid vulnerability, because real honesty, the kind that heals, requires humility. It forces you to slow down and ask, is what I'm about to say actually helpful? But humility isn't glamorous. It doesn't get applause. Bluntness does. Bluntness is quick, loud, confident. It feels like truth even when it's just emotion. But I'll tell you what bluntness can't do. It can't build trust. It can't nurture growth. And it can't heal what's broken between two people. And that's where ego fails every time. Because ego wants to win, wisdom wants to understand. Sometimes people say, "I don't sugarcoat," but what they really mean is, "I don't filter." And that's not strength. That's a lack of discipline. The strongest people aren't the ones who speak first. They're the ones who think before they speak. They know their words carry weight, and they treat that weight with respect. If you truly value honesty, you'll learn to give it with care. Because the truth, when spoken wisely, doesn't need to be brutal. It's powerful all by itself. And that brings us to the cost of not learning that lesson. Let's talk about the hidden price of brutal honesty. Because every time you choose cruelty over compassion, something in you hardens. And every time someone receives your harsh truth, something in them closes. That's how distance begins. You start noticing people don't confide in you anymore. They avoid deeper conversations. They smile, they nod, but they don't open up. And you tell yourself, they just can't handle the truth. But the truth is, they just don't feel safe around you anymore. I've seen friendships crumble because one person confused honesty with authority. They thought correcting someone was the same as caring for them. But correction without compassion is just criticism. And criticism never builds, it only breaks. Sometimes it's not even what you said, it's how you said it. The tone, the timing, the lack of warmth, it all adds up. Words echo long after you've moved on. People remember how you made them feel more than what you made them think. And here's something that most people don't realize. Brutal honesty doesn't only wound others, it wounds you. When you train yourself to always speak sharply, you stop hearing gently. You become desensitized to subtlety, to nuance, to empathy. You start to believe that strength is measured by how little you care. But indifference isn't power. It's loneliness dressed as control. Eventually, your own relationships start to feel cold. Not because others stop loving you, but because you built a wall so thick, even your truth can't get through anymore. I've met people who said, "I'm just honest. Everyone's too sensitive these days." But I've never met one who wasn't secretly craving connection. Deep down, they want to be understood, but they've forgotten how to make others feel understood first. See, being kind doesn't mean you hide truth. It means you deliver it in a way that can be heard. That's emotional maturity, and it's one of the rarest forms of strength. Anyone can speak truth. Few can speak it with grace. And the cost of not learning that is losing the very people who once trusted your words. We've talked about what brutal honesty costs. Now, let's talk about what real honesty can create. Because honesty, when guided by empathy, becomes a bridge, not a weapon. So how do you start building that kind of honesty? How do you speak truth in a way that doesn't destroy trust, but deepens it? Let's break it down. Number 1, pause before you speak. When something triggers you and you want to tell it like it is, stop for 3 seconds. That's it. 3 seconds. In those seconds, ask yourself, am I saying this to help or to release my frustration? If it's just frustration, breathe first. Emotions pass, words don't. That small gap between reaction and response is where maturity begins. Number 2, choose clarity over impact. When people say that they speak their mind, what they usually mean is they want to make an impact. But honesty isn't about shock value. It's about understanding. Ask yourself, will my words help this person see something clearer? If not, maybe it's not the right time to say it. You don't have to hit people with the truth for it to be real. You can guide them to it gently. Number 3, match truth with timing. Timing matters. Telling someone a hard truth in the middle of their worst moment isn't honesty. It's insensitivity. Real honesty respects emotion. It waits for the right time, when the heart is ready to hear. The goal isn't to prove you're right. The goal is to make the truth useful. Number 4, speak with intention, not tension. You can hear the difference. When someone speaks with intention, their voice feels grounded, peaceful. When they speak with tension, their words shake with anger or pride. Before you say something honest, check your tone. If it carries tension, it will build resistance. If it carries calm, it will build trust. And trust, not volume, is what makes truth powerful. Number 5, lead with love. This isn't about sugarcoating. It's about respect for the power of your own voice, because your words can either build or they can break. When love is your intention, honesty feels safe. When ego is your intention, honesty feels sharp. People don't remember every word you said, but they always remember whether your words came from love or from pride. So when in doubt, speak truth the way you'd want to receive it. Patiently, calmly, with kindness behind the tone. That's not weakness. That's emotional precision. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, be the one who learns how to speak in a way that helps others listen. So, as we come to the end of this conversation, I want you to sit with one simple thought. Your truth is only as powerful as the peace it creates. If your words tear down, they weren't truth. They were tension. If your words lift someone, even when they sting a little, that's real honesty. Because truth and love were never meant to be opposites. They were meant to work together. When you speak from love, your words start healing things that you didn't even know were broken. They soften anger. They bridge misunderstandings. They turn arguments into understanding. And slowly, the world around you changes. Not because you forced it, but because you chose to communicate from peace, not pride. So maybe that's where we start healing as people. Not by shouting louder, but by speaking wiser. Not by winning the debate, but by winning back our empathy. The next time you feel the urge to say, "I'm just being honest," pause for a second and ask yourself, is what I'm about to say going to free someone or hurt someone? If it frees them, then go ahead and say it. But if it only feeds your ego, rephrase it or stay silent. Silence isn't cowardice. Sometimes it's compassion in disguise. And when you do choose to speak, let your truth come from the same place you wish others would speak to you. From kindness and not ego. From patience and not pride. Because the world doesn't need more brutal honesty. It needs more gentle truth. Thank you for listening. Take a breath and take this thought with you and try speaking truth with a little more heart today.